Let's go
ready for me
live.
tonight.
Let's
Just
do
don't be acting brand new on us is all I'm
I
saying.
am. It is.
it. New corner. Wait, Ryan, what did she have again?
You said she got and a new weed she's showing off, but it looked nice regardless of whether it's
Wait, is she patting down the baby hairs?
I am.
Baby hairs. I
I'm gonna
gotta
let your
say
baby hair
this.
lay right.
I gotta show this on my I mean save it. Did we save our Facebook? Because now they treat it as an event and you can't even. I'm like,
so Ryan,
whatever.
you down
Facebook.
here in here early tonight, man. What's up, family?
Hey, Ryan.
Ryan, first of all, Ryan, how's our nephew? You need to text us. We need an update on our nephew.
Drop
That is
that
not my
beat.
nephew. That's my godson. That's your
That's not
nephew.
Child,
okay.
please. Girl, please. We are not about to fight over him. That's
We're
my
not.
nephew.
I already solidified my spot. There's no fighting.
Who named you the Godfather? Ain't nobody
Ask
even
Ryan.
named you the Godmother.
Ryan, let her know, please.
Oh
Please.
my
Let her know.
God.
That's what's
Please.
between y'all and other
And where's
Ryan, not this
Trina?
one.
Exactly. Hi,
Yeah.
Katrina. Is Katrina there too? Wait, he said recovering is going well. Well, send him love. Give him lots of kisses for Auntie TTTK, and I guess his godmom. Oh no, he did not put godmama Shonda in there.
Thank
Ryan,
you.
There it is.
Thank you. Let her know.
All right.
we need to have a talk because who said this? Ain't nobody said that you was the
How about I need
godmother.
some glasses? Oh, here they go.
So I'm looking
They're
in the
coming in,
left-hand
Ryan.
corner. Look in the left-hand corner where it says that we're live. There's a little there's a little logo. I got a little Li-Fi logo that keeps popping up and out. Did y'all have one of those?
Where?
Right next to the
No.
eyeball. Shows viewers.
Okay, yeah.
It's gone now, but it was popping up and showing me my Wi-Fi string. It was weird.
Mine
Oh,
will
there
do
go.
that when it's weak,
Listen, y'all.
but I don't see it now.
Gucci Jackson is back. Good morning. Wait, he said, good morning. Gucci, where are you? Talk about good morning.
Right.
You in a different country. Are you in a
Gucci
different
Jackson, I'm a
country?
man
Let
of
us
my
know where
word.
you're located.
I'm a man of my word, Gucci.
Yeah.
This topic is for you. You were the inspiration. We back. I got you.
That's right. Gucci, let us know where you're coming in from since you said good morning. And then
Honey, 'cause we ready
I'm
to go to
happy that
bed
you're
over here.
joining us.
I said she ready to
You
go to bed
Shonda
over
gonna
here. You
be
talking about
sleeping.
good morning. The sun go down at 6
Shonda gonna be
o'clock.
sleeping
Shonda
for
ready.
45 minutes. She ready.
Oh wow,
Right,
Uncle
you
Ryan. Uncle Ryan, I'll take that. Okay, bet.
are.
Oh, Uncle. Wait, Aunt TT, Uncle. I still want to know who named her godmother, but that's another story.
Don't, you all in my business.
Welcome everybody to
I'm
another
gonna go
episode of
to the
Talk
Talk
Miami
Miami
Talk
show.
Show. This thing kicked off. Shonda and T settling in. We're trying to get everything down. Technical difficulties before the show, but I think we're good now. Now, like always, once again, welcome this evening. Glad to see y'all. Gucci Jackson is tuning in from somewhere on the other side of the planet, talking about good morning. Oh, Nigeria. He wasn't
All right, Gucci.
lying.
What? Gucci?
Hey, Talk
Gucci?
Miami Talk Show is global. We are global up in this piece. We are absolutely global.
International.
Worldwide. Stay tuned. Here we go. We're gonna kick this thing off. I got 2 topics for y'all this evening. Glad to have y'all back. Happy to get it popping. And welcome back to another episode of the Talk Miami Talk Show. I'm your host this evening, the Sleepy Ryan David, and I'm joined by my 2 sleepy co-hosts. We are talking about the one and only TK Owens and the one and only Shonda Roberts. If y'all don't know them, now you know them. We're having some lagging difficulties. I don't know what the deal is, a little bit of a delay. You guys can let us know in the chat what the deal is, and if you see anything. But once again, shout out to everybody in the comments, everybody who's joining us tonight. As always, man, we're here for y'all. We wouldn't dare and do this if it was just us. We're here for you guys. So, like I say, tonight's got a couple of topics, and one of the topics tonight was actually by one of our listeners. Gucci, he's joining us from Gucci Jackson. I'm assuming Gucci Jackson is a man. Gucci Jackson is he joined us from Nigeria, all the way from Nigeria. And so we have some regulars in the building as well. We got Ryan, Veronica's here. Diane. Good evening, everybody. Diane here's a little echoing. I don't know if that means that there's like a skip or redundancy in what I'm saying.
Yeah, it is.
That's what I'm trying to. I'm trying to figure out on my end that part. I don't have a delay, but yes, it's repeating certain words. And I got really upset last episode. I went back and listened to it, and when it was like that last episode, I can't hear it. Obviously, I can't hear the feedback that I'm having, and I get on my headset, and I can't hear it there either. So bear with me if that's the case. I can switch mics in the middle of the episode. I'd rather not. So bear with me on that. As long as you guys are coming through and you guys can hear us.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what you guys.
Yeah, they said it's choppy and echo, and we hear you repeating over and over.
Like
I heard that on the recording. I did a test on that yesterday, and I tried to get rid of it. And I have all this equipment in front of me, and I'm gonna have to reach out to some sort of help desk for one of the equipment to see what it is, because I couldn't find out what the nature problem was. But the show must go on regardless. I'm gonna try and
rather entertaining.
I'm gonna try and address it. I could try to talk slower, but I don't know if that would even help, and I don't even know if that's possible. But like I say, welcome back. CK, just for those who don't, go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we'll hear from Shonda, and then I want to get started today.
Of course. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another great episode of Talk My Talk Show. I am tired. I don't think you guys have probably even heard me ever say I'm tired. But yes, I do get tired. And tonight is one of those nights. But you know what? We are faithful. We are here. We're going to always be here every Monday night for you guys. So I'm going to pull it out. I just told Ryan I love Showtime. So no matter how tired I am, how exhausted I am, when that camera goes on, I have to pull it out. You know what I mean? So welcome. I am TK Owens, TK to the O. What else? The TK Owens, want to be like Dr. Shonda, and the Ryan David, whatever. I'm still, guess what? I'm still celebrating my birthday. It's still November. And so I'm still going to keep doing this until the last day of November. So happy birthday to me again for the third week. Shonda, what was that Facebook? Whatever. So, still celebrating my birthday, but with that,
TK
I guess
Vember.
I'll pass it.
That is TK Vember.
Right.
Is that his phrase?
Ryan for giving me the whole month, and like that's his phrase that we came up with last year. That's how faithful Ryan has been to this show. We came up with that last November, and he remembered. And I know some of you guys will remember this. I know Dr. Shonda has like one day. But TK has a month, and I'm just going to leave it like that. And I said what I said. Shonda, I'll give it to you for your one day.
Good evening. I am the Dr. Shonda Roberts, coming to you live from the corner that I have created. Y'all see my corner back here? I think I really did something.
Y'all, please give us up for this corner.
I put my little book up there that I am co-author of. I got the word refresh over here. I am refreshed, and I am strong. I am I am queen, and I am everything else. Thank you for having me. I'm cute tonight. I took off my nails, but you know, I'm still her. Thank you for joining us. Back to you, Ryan.
Thank you so much, Shonda.
Cracking up.
I'm cracking up. First, I was cracking up because Shonda was on mute talking some kind of crap off, and I saw it happening. I was trying to read her lips while TK was going on.
Let me just tell you what happened. So y'all didn't catch. So since I did redecorate my corner, something just fell. So George came in. What was that? He said, "You having a so-and-so moment?" You know what he meant, TK.
That's how.
Yeah.
I was like, so I was trying not to laugh, and he was standing right in front of my. He said, "What was that?" I said, "I don't know. Can you see it?" I said, "They didn't see it on the computer, but it's right behind me, and y'all can't see it. False. It was right there."
Nah, we would have heard it. You weren't on mute.
Fell live on camera.
It was loud. Maybe when we go back, you probably can hear it. It was literally clack, clack, clack.
Hear it on the replay. They're gonna hear it. All right, man. Listen, the first thing I wanted to do tonight, I wanted to start off by doing is I wanted to recognize Veterans Day. Veterans Day was Friday, and Veterans Day is one day out of the year, the same way that, and going back for a second, Shonda has her day. TK has her self-proclaimed month for her birthday. Shonda's day was given to her by somebody else. Just to be fair, TK gave her a month, but it's still worth it. You gotta celebrate. We will celebrate with you. But
Thank you.
in all seriousness, Veterans Day is a serious day, and I just wanted to recognize our veterans and pay tribute to the day. It was Friday. It's Monday, but I mean, obviously, I hope you had a good one. I just was curious out there. Anybody in the comments? Are you all vets? Anybody listening? Do you know any vets? And I had a little tribute to something I wanted to put together. I'm gonna talk over it a little bit because the video got cut in half. But this is just a little clip I found of a little video was put together. And to me, it was something just to talk about, to think about as far as the people that we care about and why we have the freedom that we do. And so this is just a little tribute. It shows a little bit about the families and the soldiers. And it talks about the different branches of the military. And so you see there it got cut off, but you see, if you notice, it has all the different branches of the military: the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, the Coast Guard, and then the reserves. And so I just wanted to our vets out there, out of respect, and I have some best friends of mine, fraternities, former students, current students that are in a service that either have served or they're still serving. And I just think that we a lot of times we take it for granted, but we do take for the reason why we are sitting in the situation that we're sitting in as Americans. And it is because of all those who signed, put their life on the line to serve this country so we could live in it the way that we do. And so I just want to pay tribute to any of the vets out there listening, and anybody who is in their lives. I think that they're well deserved that we pay tribute to them. I got my little Army gear on. Best friend of mine sent me gear, and he's in the Army, so he sent me some gear. So I try to represent whenever I can. So shout out to the vets. That's what I want to start with today. Now I want to jump back in to revisit last week. TK.
Ryan, can I give a tribute to my
course,
hubby?
please, ladies. And actually, I didn't mean to skip right past that. I didn't know who's on comments, but were there any comments from anybody who has any vets in their life? Yeah. And go ahead, ladies, if you know anybody, share with us.
Well, Sarah actually did say I guess she's thanking everyone. Sarah said, "Thank you for your service to all who have served. And I would like to acknowledge my hubby who served in the Army. So I am a vet wife."
There you go.
And he serves every day as a police officer. So that still counts too. So he's been there for almost 30 years, 29 years.
Exactly. Thank him from all of us for his service. Obviously, yeah. So, all right, good. Thank you, and thank you all in the comments for that, Sarah. Thank you for that as well. And anybody else, and then we want to hear from you too. Give you a shout out, recognize you. So cool. I just wanted to do that. A lot of times we either fall on holiday or there's something in the month that we want to recognize. And I thought, you know what, we didn't get the chance last week. It hadn't come up yet, so want to recognize our vets. As I was saying, TK, I wanted to revisit for a second with you ladies. Last week, just to see if there was, we kind of had a long, good conversation. It took up the entire, one topic took up the entire show. I just want to revisit last week for a moment. If you all had any thing to say after reflection or after reading some comments or just to wrap things up, I'll go first. And then if you guys, ladies, had anything to add. TK had a guest on, was the author, and the topic was pretty much how to get a man. How to keep a man, get a man. I forgot what the name exactly was. Give me that. Make sure you let me know, TK, if he sends us the books. Let me know when you get that. I want to get that from you. So
of course, I sent him our address to get our book.
Okay. Katrina says she's finally here. What up, Katrina? She got a little sleep. He wants to party like an animal. So last week we had a guest on, and we had a conversation about, basically we had a conversation on females, the differences, the situation between it. And I guess my one disclaimer I will say, whenever we have conversations like we had last week, whenever we have conversations about men, about women, about relationships, he was the guest. So on his platform, hear what he had to say. You know, so I tried to say as less as I could, at least as amount as possible, so that, you know, we could have the guests have enough time. The one thing I would say, and I would have prefaced our conversation last week, if it was for other people to hear that say it now, you got to remember that a lot of that stuff that was said and how we talk is in generalization. We're generalizing when we say men. We're generalizing when we say women. And I guess the assumption is to point out there's always exceptions. And so somebody could have been listening and said, well, that's not how it worked for me. That's not what happened in my situation, or, well, I'm not like that. And that's absolutely possibly the case. So the conversation we had was a general conversation. It was about just about generalizations. What I got from the guest was his book, his approach was a general approach that may apply to the majority, but there are some exceptions. And we didn't really have enough time or enough space here to acknowledge or specify what those exceptions might be. But I just think it's only fair out. There are exceptions, and there are exceptions, obviously, to what was being said last week. He was just had an angle that was a general approach. And I think that he was saying, generally speaking, this is what on average, it's a place to start. And then if you find some differences or things are different after that, then you vary. I don't know how you ladies feel about that take.
Yeah, I mean, to me, when an author writes a book, and we're all authors here on this platform, when you write a book, it's based on, well, I don't know about you guys. I guess I can speak for myself. It's based on my perspective and things that happen to me. I can only share with the world my thoughts. Now it's up to the individual to accept it or not to accept it. And that's one thing Cheyenne actually came on here. He's just giving real talk from a man's point of view, from his point, and trying to put it out there to help women understand. Now, do you have to like it? No, you don't. Do you have to abide by it? No, you don't. But it's there for whoever it's meant to be. You either like it or you don't. And he's just that type of person that I can respect someone who's telling the truth based on what they think is the truth. It is what it is. And that's how he sees things. It doesn't mean that I do respect, and because we're on a platform like this, we have to accept that other people have other viewpoints that may not be the same as ours. So I'll be honest, I walked away from that show going, I didn't think of it that way. So it did bring me another like perspective. Like sometimes as a woman, I wish with girls like Shonda and I, we talk, but we probably can't talk like that in front of guys or really tell the truth. He's just one of those, and there's some people out there. They say everything that we want to say, but we're not bold enough to say it. I take that Shonda with it. It's just not me. Shonda would tell you how she feels, and Cheyenne is that type of person too. He just speaks what he feels with no, like, he's savage, and Shonda's like that. Look at her. She's happy. Her and I talk about that all the time, Ryan. I wish that I was bold enough to really say to certain people, yeah, because he's getting the feedback. And guys, by the way, if you're logging on now, Ryan is having some technical difficulties with his mic and his sound. So
but I'm
Shonda and I are gonna keep
call me out like that, Gucci. Yes.
Come on, Gucci, bring it in. Gucci, what did Gucci say?
Gucci already know how your girl do. Yes.
Shonda is gonna speak her mind, right, Gucci? I wish that I had the nerve or the courage, rather, to actually say how I really feel about certain situations. But I'm so empathetic. But Cheyenne he came from a perspective to me that he's just gonna voice how he feels and tell it like the way he sees it. And all we could do is respect that. We don't have to like him or not, but I can respect his thoughts. Shonda, what did you think after that?
Well, honestly, I'm not even being funny. I can't remember what we talked about last week. My brain done went from 0 to 100.
You know what?
Can you guys hear me?
Gucci. She gonna be honest.
Talk to us, Ryan.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, but we want to see if it's an echo. Repeating.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. That's got to be my computer. I don't get it. I mean, like I said, I forgot, but
it's okay. We have to just fight through it tonight. But what I was saying is I did understand some of it. I got what he was saying. Like TK said, that was his thoughts and his opinion. I'm not saying he was wrong, because I don't know what his experience is with women. I do, like he said, I do understand the part where he said that women sometimes have to be assertive for what they want. Speak up. If you see something, go after it. I do agree with that. And I'm not saying get on your knees and propose to somebody now. But if you do see somebody you want to talk to, don't just wait for them to come and say something to you. Maybe you want to go over there and say something to them, like I did, honey. And I got mine. So y'all better get yours. So that's what part I agree with. Everything else, I don't really remember what we all talked about. We talked about a lot last week. But I want to respond to Sarah. Sarah said, "What did I miss?" Oh wait, I'm sorry, wrong question. I missed it. What did I miss? Last week, go back to our show last week, and we had an author on that spoke about. I don't want to misquote his book. It's How to Keep a Man. I think he said keep
It's
peace. Something is sex and food or
it's
something.
food,
So go back.
food, food, sex, and peace of mind. What a woman needs to know to keep a man.
See now, if you just hear that title without hearing him, you kind of be like, what? But once, because I don't
Like, how
cook,
you gonna
Mr.
tell me?
Robinson right here. I don't cook, ain't finna cook, don't like to cook, and don't want to cook. But so I don't know if that's the type of food we talk about. But you have to go back and listen to his perspective. It was okay. It wasn't what I thought it would be. We did hear him out.
I just wanted to, and I apologize once again for the audio. If it's unbearable, you got to let me know. I can leave. But no, I'm trying to see if there's a different microphone. But I just wanted to bring up last week, to see if we wanted to say, because we bring guests on and then it's all of a sudden a conversation, and sometimes we get feedback after the case, after the fact,
Yeah.
and stuff. So we're responsible for having
Mhm.
the guests. They're responsible for what they say. Their say is not a reflection of us, but we did host them. So I figured I would just preface it by
Mhm.
saying, look, there are some things said that maybe other people don't agree with, but since we platformed him and he's a self-proclaimed expert, I just want to preface that what he was saying could be taken out of context, but it also could generalize, and that's all I meant as far as he was concerned about last week. So yeah, I guess good. That's good. Where you guys. Let's jump into topic number one. All right, topic number one. I want to hear from both of you all, and then I'll chime in and add a little bit. Topic one tonight is building trust, and this, like I said, this topic was inspired by Goo Jackson a couple of weeks ago. He asked the question, "How do I build trust in my relationship?" And this is something I actually teach in psychology classes. We talk about relationship. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to ask. Obviously, I want the audience to drop in and chime in here as I'm asking these questions and talking about this. And in a little bit, I'll talk about one of the things that I teach, one of the concepts that I teach that everybody can apply. But before I dive to what I have to share and maybe the advice or suggest having the concept that you all can maybe run with, I want to hear from you ladies. I want to hear from you all, Shonda and TK, and I want you all to share with the audience. What have you done either in all of your relationships that you've learned works, or what do you do specifically, or have you done specifically that you know has helped you build us in your relationships? Now, I want to preface this by saying the caveat is what I'm going to talk about in a moment applies to relationship with any person. We think of relationships, we think of romantic relationships, husband, wife, and boyfriend, girlfriend, things like this. But the concepts I'm going to give you all really will apply to all relationships. Trust is universal in relationships. Trust, no matter what the type of relationship is. But from whatever relationship standpoint you all want to share, particularly marriage, I think, because that's a big one for in terms of the relationships. Ladies, share with us your take on how to build trust in a relationship. What's worked, or maybe things to watch out for.
Shonda, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I heard noise. I'm trying to find out where my noise coming from in this house. Um, ooh, repeat the question.
You want me to do it, TK?
TK, you're on mute, babe.
I'll
Okay.
repeat
You
for you,
got it.
Shonda. Yeah, that's okay. In a relationship, Shonda, that could be, you could speak from a marriage point of view, but then also your
Mhm.
relationship. You always have to build trust too with your friends and your kids. So, what do you do to build trust
Hmm.
with
I
someone?
saw this question. I was thinking about. I mean, of course, I have over time, but I was thinking, how did we build trust? And I think it was just by being honest, of course, but also sharing how you feel about things. For me, when they come up, because what I don't like is for my spouse to feel a certain way and don't tell me till 2 weeks later.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, tell me if I made you feel a certain way, or if I said something, or if I did something. Even if you can tell me right then, maybe the next day or something, but don't let it linger for a couple of weeks and then I don't know what's going on. There's something I may not feel like I have what's the word? I don't have the room to express how I feel because I feel you're going to hold on to it. So I think a lot of times it's being honest with each other, saying how you feel when it happens, and be honest about how you feel. That's how we built trust. And with my kids, I always tell them, listen, This is an open door. If you feel you have to say something to me that I may be taken aback about, just give me a little heads up so I can not react and give you the room to speak. Because I listen, I'm one of them helicopter moms and I'm gonna be over the top most of the time. So if you my kids were like, Mom, I gotta talk to you, I'm like, oh Jesus. My heart already start having palpitations and I start sweating, but they tell me, Mom, I need to talk, I need you to listen. Then I already know I'm gonna take a deep breath and I'm gonna listen because if I fly off the coop every time they come to me, they're not gonna feel like they can come to me when they need to tell me stuff. So when it came to my kids, I had to just know how to listen to them and not judge them when they're talking, not put on them what I feel that I would have done, but also give them room to make mistakes, give them room to, do what they feel is necessary, but also correct them if they're doing wrong. So with my kids, it was kind of different with building trust with them, because they have to feel like, okay, even though my kids are cool, you know what I mean? And now that they're adults, we have a better relationship or different relationship, I should say. And I still have to, go off on them for lack of better term sometimes. But I could do that now without everybody being their feelings. You know what I mean? Like I tell them what I tell them, and they still have enough trust in their parents to say, "Mom, I was wrong, and I apologize," and we move on. So I think it's just a process. It's about just time. It takes time to do all of that. It doesn't happen overnight. Me and George met, and we both had trust issues like crazy. I was coming out of an abusive relationship, as you both know. George was in a relationship that he wasn't totally comfortable with at that time, plus things he had been through in his life. It was like literally two tornadoes meeting each other. I'm sorry. Two tornadoes meeting each other, and we both had issues, a lot of trust issues in the beginning. Hell, George slept in my bed with tennis shoes on for a long time. He would
Why? Why? Because he was in case you acted up. What's that about, George?
because he's from 61st Street, you know what I'm saying,
Back
up in the
office.
city, and he always had to sleep with his finger on the trigger, stuff like that. And so it came from, not living
Back
that
office.
life anymore to now being with someone and having trying to have some peace. You know what I mean? He didn't know me that well, so but he slept in my bed, but he didn't know who was coming in my house. He didn't know where I was. So I guess it was just him trying to learn who I was and be comfortable with himself being in my bed and in my house.
I
After
thought I had
living
his
in the,
shoes on, bro.
having to live in the streets, we're worrying about who's coming to rob you or who's doing this, that, and the other. So we had to build trust in different aspects. And I had to build trust on trusting him that he won't hit me because I had just left an abusive relationship. I had to understand, I wanted to be able to tell him things without him being upset about it and us getting into a fight, So it took a while. It took a long time.
TK, how do they do it? How'd you do it?
I want to talk about two different perspectives. I'll give one from a relationship marriage, and then I want to see, are there some people out there that relate to me as a supervisor? Because then you got to have a team, right? And there has to be team with your staff. I mean, trust rather with your staff.
Yeah.
And I want to know from a work standpoint, some people may struggle with trust issues even at work, right? So from my marriage, one thing that and Sarah said it very well here, building trust takes time. When you first meet someone, we only know what we put our best foot forward. We only know what we know of each other. But any relationship is going to go through ups and downs. And from those ups and downs, one thing that has helped in our relationship, Ryan, is it's not what you say, it's action. Pay attention to what I'm saying. If I'm apologize to you and you apologize to me, now if you're going to be a habitual offender, we got issues. But you have to learn how to forgive, and that forgiveness to me doesn't come with an apology. I start paying attention to what you do. I'm looking at your actions. And to me, that's how we build trust. Because if you give me your word, she'll tell you, I'm really am a woman of my. If I say I'm going to do something, it is my honor to carry that out. And so to me, I hope I'm building trust with that individual. If I say something, just like with my marriage and my commitment, my vows, I take serious. If it came out my mouth and it was in front of witnesses and before God, I'm going to carry that out. I am true to that. There's some people too who take vows, and I'm not saying that they don't take it serious, but to me, that's where all that trust starts when it comes to marriage. Vows are created for two people to come up with an agreement. And it doesn't mean that you can read the traditional vows that people make, or you can make up your own vows. But I know whenever it comes out of my mouth, I told him that. And I told him, if you forget what I told you, pay attention to my action, because I mean that. I am really, truly a woman of my word. And so I hope that's how I'm building trust with him. From a supervisor, someone who has direct reports in a team, it's all transparency to me. Being honest is the first thing. I allow my employees to come to me and just be honest with me. If you don't feel well or you didn't like something, we can agree to disagree to agree, or whatever it is, agree to disagree. Be honest with me and how you feel. And so I have allowed them to be honest when they come to me as their boss, and we're going to figure it out. And so they really are thankful. I do get that a lot from my staff, that they are thankful, that they are confident enough to come to me and just be real. And so I
I try to get
appreciate
on
that.
his
I really
tail.
do think Shonda tried to have me to hire her, Ryan,
I'm gonna
and
go
that's a
back on
different
mute. I'm
story, because I
sorry.
Ryan, I'm not going to hire her on my team. It's a conflict of interest, and I already know how she acts. But a lot of my teammates tell me that they really appreciate that I've allowed them to be who they are and just talk to them. I don't want anybody, just because I'm a vice president of an organization, please don't take away the titles. I give the same respect as a janitor that I would do my CEO. So I tell them, that's how, please don't let the title fool you. You guys could talk to me about anything. And I think that's how I build trust, Ryan, within my team.
Good stuff. Good stuff from both of you. Gucci Jackson, if you're still there, drop a comment, man. We want to know. You were the inspiration for question. And so the question was really how to build trust in a relationship. I just wanted to piggyback on everything that they said and add something and contribute this tonight for whoever's in. And again, what I'm going to share with you is a concept that you can apply to any relationship. It can be as a leader or as a part of a team, a relationship. It could be a relationship. And so there's a couple of things I want to talk about as far as building trust. First of all, it may time, but it doesn't automatically. That's a big misconception. You don't spend time around someone and then all of a sudden trust gets to build. You can build comfort, you can build a routine, but trust is another layer. So there's some active things that have to take. That's a misconception too, as well. Y'all hit on that. Now I want to say also there's a little bit of a prerequisite in relationships, and those prerequisites are some sort of friendship along with respect. Those two things to me are foundational. You heard me say this here before. Have a friendship of some sort and you don't have respect. Communication. Communication and respect. But the friendship is what that really is. Communication and respect really represent the basis for the relationship. So a prerequisite for trust actually is respect and communication, and that's a bigger conversation. But people don't think about that. Gucci's still there. Good stuff. He's still here. He's jotting some things
I'm gonna
down.
need
And
Gucci's
Shonda
the
and
notes.
TK saying Shania. It's Dr. Shonda Roberts, but we got you. You good. You
It's all
good.
right. I know what you mean.
Maybe that's how you spell Shonda
He was
in
typing.
that's how you spell Shonda in
In Nigeria.
Nigeria. I don't know if that's
No, I
right.
think he
That's
was typing
the
fast. Yeah.
nah, you good,
I
man.
like
We
it. I
want you to
like
see.
it.
We good. So all right, so prerequisite communication and respect. And people think I've had a conversation video on what comes first in a relationship, trust or respect. And because trust is so important to people, they forget that it's actually not possible unless you have a relationship based on respect first. And that's a conversation, but respect always comes first. Okay, so now let's assume you're in a relationship and the relationship has a foundation and respect. What do we do now? What can we do? There's a concept called the emotional bank account. And the idea is that you have an emotional bank account with a single person you're in a relationship with. Let's for a second. Always want to lay out, make sure everybody understands how a bank account works. If you don't know how a bank account works, you ain't gonna know how an emotional bank account works. So bank account, how's it work? Bank account simply you put money in, that's called a deposit. You take money out, that's called a withdrawal. And the goal, ideally, is to make more deposits. Then withdrawals. You want to increase the balance in that account. That's a bank account. An emotional bank account is an account with which you hold with everybody you have a relationship with. I have an emotional bank account with Shonda. I have an emotional bank account with TK. I have an emotional bank account with my mom. I have an emotional bank account with one of my students that I interact with. You have a relationship, no matter what the level of the relationship is, you have an emotional bank account with this person. Here's how the emotional account relates to trust.
Because mine be depleted.
Well, then trust is going to be depleted. So this is how that works.
With some people.
With some people, and that's why the trust is shot in that relationship. This is the way you want to think about it. The amount of deposits and withdrawals in that relationship will reflect the balance. Here's how that relates to trust and relationships. The amount of a relationship is directly proportionate to the balance in your account with that person. If you're in a relationship with somebody and they're making deposits, I'll get back to what those are in a moment. Then they are withdrawals. You're going to trust that person a more than the person who's making withdrawal. They realize it or not, intentional or unintentional, versus deposits. If somebody's
Ryan, repeat that a little slowly because it's choppy. I want them to get that.
So I started with, it's going to frustrate me, but I'm going to push through it. I'm apologizing once again for this situation. I have no idea what it troubleshot it a little bit. But what I was saying was the amount of trust in the relationship is directionate to the balance in that account within those two people. It doesn't matter what the relationship is. All right. And so you're going to trust somebody a lot, making way more deposits in your account. I'll get back in a second to what deposits are. Then you would if they're making withdrawals than deposits. That's one that's important. So let's talk about what a deposit, what a withdrawal is, because that's where most people have to do the work and put the effort in. Ryan says I'm sounding chopped and screwed, Houston style. Apologize for that. I'm gonna get it figured out by next show. I promise you. I gotta call this text. So you have an emotional bank account with anybody you have a relationship with. Anybody. What is a deposit, maybe? What is a deposit, Ryan? What the hell is a deposit? That's what they asked me. What's a deposit? That is a very important question. The deposit in somebody else's account has to be considered to be a deposit. Here's the thing: when you get in a relationship, how do you usually love somebody? The way you loved, ain't it? And so go ahead, Shonda.
I mean, yes, but
by default,
after learn, by default, but you learn to love them how they should be, how they want to be.
That's the thing. Most people by default will get into a relationship. They love want to show them they love them, and our instinct, our default is, well, let me do what I like because I love it. And that's wrong, unfortunately. And know the communication. Remember, I told you what the prerequisite is: communication and respect. Communication is a prerequisite. So you communicate. Well, this is what I need to feel loved by you. What do you need to feel loved by me? And what we're talking about, our big part of that is deposits. What do you consider a deposit? And let me tell you, consider to be a deposit. Now, you can find these out about somebody from learning and paying attention. And so I'm sure you what your husband's and what your man considers to be a deposit, one, from paying attention and then trial and error. But you could also have a conversation, and it's fun for people who aren't turned into a game. And so a deposit is doing something for that person that they consider to be a deposit. They like it, they enjoy it, they appreciate, thankful for it. A withdrawal is the opposite. The thing about withdrawals are in long-term relationships to be making withdrawals almost incidentally, accidentally, unintentionally. You're a little bit late. You forget to do something they ask you to. A little irritated. You raise your voice. All those are withdrawals, and you're not doing it on purpose, but they add up. And so in long-term relationships, oftentimes I teach what we have is in terms of trust. We'll get back to that in a moment. That's what I'm gonna wrap and tie things into. But when you first fall in love or you Friday, generally speaking, what you do is you overwhelm this, and they do the same thing for you. You're in love. It's overflowing the bank account. And if somebody messes up, it's like, about it, baby. It's okay. No big deal. Forgive them because they're overflowing your bank account. But then you're together for 2 years, 3 years. All of a sudden you think, well, we've been together. I done did a lot of nice things. You take for granted the fact that they're around. And so you make less deposits intentionally and making more withdrawals because they're about you and they're around you more often. And now you're in the negative. Now you're overdrawn. So what we have to do is conscious. We have to think about, I want to trust with this person. What do they consider to be a deposit? What can I do to show them I'm making an active effort to dip in their account so that they can trust me? Now, you can be a psychopath about it and try to be manipulative and find out what someone likes, buy them things and try to convince them, but that's not genuine. Just pay attention for that. Generally speaking, you're going to build trust by making deposits and being mindful of your withdrawals. Here's an interesting fact, and I'd like to hear about this. And by the way, in the comments, go ahead and drop something that is a deposit for you. it doesn't matter who you are. If you're in a relationship, then that you consider to be a deposit. Somebody does for you. We got a little bit of spam in the chat there, TK.
I
Go ahead and
got it.
take care of that. What if something drop something in the chat where somebody does something for you, you consider that to be a deposit. Go ahead and drop that in the chat for you guys. So the thing about withdrawals is, here's the thing. It's not as simple as a bank account. Bank account, you spend $20, you pull $20 out, you put $20 back, you're back where you started, but not in relationships. Somebody do something to call that a withdrawal. It takes, on average, statistics show 3 deposits to get you back to even. And you know
What?
this, right, Shonda? Somebody mess up. It ain't just one
Ooh,
thing that brings you back to even. You got to say sorry genuinely. Okay, maybe. You got to show up with a little something next day and surprise me. Okay, all right, you're on your way. And then the third thing is like, okay, I believe you. I trust you. Appreciate it. There's the effort.
yeah.
So you can't just do a one fund. You mess up. Oh, let me go find a deposit. In your relationship, start to think about and pay attention to, what can I do that would be considered a deposit for this person so I could earn their trust and build their trust. It's one concept. And pay attention to the withdrawals. And if you don't know what they are, make an activity out of it. Sit down with them and say, I'm gonna write down 5 things that I think you be a deposit. I'm gonna write down 5 things you like that I do. And you write down 5 things you think I like that you think I like that you do. Write down 5 withdrawals. And what'll happen is you'll say, all right, here we go. All right, Shauna, George, gonna sit down. All right, Shauna, here's what I got. That's what I got for you, babe. Here's my list. Okay, here it goes. When I do this, you like it. You're gonna be like, nah, bro, I hate when you do that. Actually, go ahead and take that off your list. So you're gonna find out real quick that what you thought was it actually was a withdrawal. We got a lot of people chat. They're spamming us with tonight, man. They want to have a lot of fun in the chat. You know, you made it when they start spamming you. Shonda, what are your thoughts?
We made it when we do that.
Yeah, we made it. What are your thoughts about the concept? And maybe you can share something that popped into your mind as a withdrawal or deposit. And remember the portion, the amount of trust in the relationship is what we're after here. And the amount of trust depends on the ratio. How many deposits are you making versus withdrawals? People who you trust a lot, they tend to actually make more deposits than they make withdrawals, just by nature. And people who you're kind of suspect of, is because they're taken, or they're shisty, or they're shady, or you're questioning them more than you are happy about what they're doing. So it's just, and it works for you. You have to keep in mind that it works for you too. People are going to trust you to the degree that you're taking from them or depositing. So that's something to just think about. Gucci says she did send me some cash. That's not what I'm talking about. Money can be a deposit, but it can be other things too. She did send me some cash, some medications when I was sick at the time. There you go. Medication, when things like that. Yeah. So that's exactly what it is. If they do things that they know you need or you consider to be a deposit. Ladies, did anything jump into your mind? Did something pop out to you that was a deposit, or that is it absolutely you could share, that if your man does this for you, it's absolutely a deposit, or something they do on a regular basis?
I think for me, I'm very clingy, even though sometimes I get annoyed. I'm very clingy. So, girl, nobody asked you. So I know for me, like on Mondays, George is very intentional with making sure we spend time together on Mondays, and he'll do random stuff. Like I could be just sitting down watching TV, he'll just bring me a cup of coffee or something simple and small like that because he's know I'm frustrated or something's going on. He always taps into little things that can make me just be so excited. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna stop you right there because you said something that I actually teach textbook. The little things are the big things because the little things require more attention and more effort to them. So everybody, she actually gave you a real life example. The little things are the big things. When you can pay attention to the little things that somebody needs, wants, or like, be a big deal to them.
Yes, it's a big deal to me. Yes, of course we like big stuff, but I promise it's the little stuff that he does all the time because like today, for instance, I was having a frustrating day. Just all of a sudden, in 10 minutes, I got 20 things going on. The minute we got home, he went in the kitchen to make us something to eat, but then he just brought me a cup of coffee. I was like, oh, thank you, you're so cute. Because I needed that at that moment. And I, try to do the same things for him when he's not thinking. George don't ever ask for anything. So that gifts are not his love language. But honestly, Ron, I do that for him because he always gives to me and the kids. He never asks for anything. And then when I buy stuff, first thing he said was, "You didn't have to do that." But I know he enjoys it. He enjoys it. I took time to think about him to do something for him, even though he don't ask for it. That's something I still do for him because I know it reminds him that it lets him know that I'm always appreciative of him and his sacrifices of what he does.
Right,
But
right.
yeah, little stuff. To me, for me, it's the little things. I love the little small, thoughtful things that he does all the time.
Yeah, you're on mute. What you got? Oh, you took it off. Go ahead.
Tequila.
Yes. Same thing. I think who doesn't like those small things. I think in our marriage it's the small things too. However, I don't know. I actually have the book somewhere around here. We actually did that episode, Shonda. I think that was my topic too, the five love languages.
Yeah.
And so
Hmm.
we actually took the test to find out, and he has acts of service. You can imagine he always loves service. He just absolutely, he just like Shonda, spoiled. Me and George are the ones that are fixing their plates. I kid you not.
I
I
am
can
not
have this
spoiled.
man food on the stove. Yes, you are. I can have the food in the kitchen, but literally will give him instructions. But he goes, it tastes better when you fix it. But you know what? That really does make me feel good that he wants it to come from me.
See,
And my
y'all like
mom
that.
was the same way. My mom would cook for the whole family. She would feed the whole, and I guess I got it from my mom. And that's one thing I guess I don't mind. It actually makes me feel good that he appreciates that I fix his food. I love fixing food for my whole family. It's not even just about him. And I'll get offended if you don't eat my food. So you know, but it's those little acts. And then for him, listen, those little things, just me getting that morning text, it's good morning, beautiful, or he knows what gets me is kissing me on this forehead. Just that alone, when I go
Whoa.
to bed at night, he know, shut up, Shonda. He knows when I need a hug, and he knows when I need that kiss on the forehead. So that's it for me, Ryan. You know what, Shonda? You know too much of my business.
Yeah. So you ladies talked about, and I know. Again, once again, if you just tuned in or you've been here, a microphone is suspect. So sorry if it's difficult for you. I'll push. Um, the love languages is like kind of an example, finding out what they like and what you like, and that's what the deposit can be. Try not to be making deposits in other people's account for actually
Mhm.
want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you need a new lawnmower and it would really make your day if you had a new
Mhm.
lawnmower, don't go buy your wife a lawnmower because you wanted one, and it's like, hey, we got a new mower. Like, you got to be thoughtful and you got to be mindful. So that's just one thing you could do. And you could do. TK, you talked about being on a team. So if you had employees, it's about being thoughtful and, like you say, the little things, but it's finding out what's going on. If I have a team of 10 people and I want to make a deposit in their account, I could go buy them all a coffee mug or buy them all a piece of candy and put it on their desk or whatever and put it in their cubicle. But I could also find out
Mhm.
exactly what kind of candy each of them individually like, go out and buy specific candy for them and
Mhm.
put that there. You see the difference? So the deposits that you make, they're easy
Mhm.
at first when you first meet somebody, but over time, you have more of an active effort. And that's start to trust people over time because it's people that, like George, still makes the effort. TK, he still makes the effort, still see the things consistently over
Mhm.
time, even though we're all gonna make withdrawals unintentional. That's gonna happen. What do you do? Well, you have to compensate for that with deposits. So that's something that I wanted to point out, a kind of concept, just to think about relationships in the sense that how am I adding person intentionally to help build that with them? And then obviously be intelligent, just to wrap this up. Don't get into a relationship that's out of bounds where you find that you're actually wanting to make deposits in their account all of the time, and all they're doing is making withdrawals or they're not reciprocating, and you're not to get. But you still have to be legit. Don't be in a relationship where that person clearly doesn't have the same philosophy as you. They don't
Right.
understand. Hey, man, make some investments as well. So that's to say about that. Any last words about how to build trust in a relationship, ladies?
I was going to say what you just said at the end is very important. Pay attention in the beginning. Someone will show you who they are in the beginning of the relationship, but sometimes we choose to
Yes,
ignore it
and
because we want to fix
listen.
somebody, or we're hoping that they'll change over time. Who they are, even when the representation of them fades away, you're going to see their true colors. So don't ignore that. You can't make someone or build a relationship on a lie. It has to be trust. And in the beginning, you'll see little things that they will lie about, or you know you can't trust them about. Don't expect them, if you can't trust them about small things, you don't expect to be able to trust them about bigger things. So again, just pay attention in the beginning of the relationship. When you see those red
Amen.
flags, if you see those things that they lie about stupid stuff, like where you at? Oh, I'll be there in an hour, and they come 4 hours later. Oh, I was changing my mama tire or something like that.
Yeah,
Little
be
things
careful. Don't
that
settle.
add up.
Yeah, don't settle for that
Mm-hmm.
initially. If you see it early on, you're gonna set the bar real low. If you say that's okay with me, it's gonna keep going.
Yes.
TK.
Mm-hmm.
TK?
No, I just completely agree with you guys. I think we all summed it up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
What, you
Yeah, it
guys
was a
can
little
hear me?
delay.
We were waiting. It was delayed for some
Yeah.
reason.
I think there's
Delayed.
a delay, but yeah, I think tonight is just one of those nights that we're having a lot of technical difficulties. I'll try to
We
come
know.
back and do I need to go out and come back or is it okay?
In a second,
No,
you
go
can
ahead.
try it. I'm gonna go to your moment in a moment. I'm gonna go to yours. But you want to go out, and I'll wrap it, and you come back with your moment. Your moment. Try to log out, come back in. I got you.
Sure. Okay.
So yeah,
Thanks.
Shawnee, you were talking about it, and you're talking about pay attention to the things they show you in the beginning that are not good. But I was talking to someone yesterday or previously about falling in love. Also, when you first fall, pay attention to the shit y'all enjoy and the things y'all are doing and the things that you like, because it's not gonna happen so naturally for after. Hey, remember when we did that thing? That was really fun. Let's do that again.
Yeah.
You just end up riding that wave of love until it crashes, and you're like, oh, out of love, they don't love me no more. Something. Yeah, all that stuff you did for fun naturally, it ain't happening naturally no more. So now you got to do it actively. So pay
Who you
attention.
telling?
Yeah,
Being married 20 years and kids gone, you have to find things that you all love to do. Remember, because it life happens. You know what I mean? And sometimes you just go on and you take each other for granted because they're there. But you have to reconnect all the time.
bingo,
And
bingo.
like if we can go get a hotel for the weekend. I don't care if it's West Palm Beach. Just something where the distraction is gone and it's just us paying attention to each other. And you have to reconnect. You have to keep that relationship going. If not, it will go away. You will lose that fire so quickly.
Absolutely. And this fire goes out naturally. It's doing what you said, which is perfect. Tap back into it, rekindle that, keep that spark tapping back into what.
Mhm.
If you have, you can get it back. Don't wait till it goes all the way away. Keep it live, like you just said.
Yeah.
Amazing, beautiful. All right. Right. Now going to go to TK's motivational moment. I want to hear from TK. You go ahead and hit her with the jingle, Shonda.
TK's motivational moments. Woo! TK's
She did
motivational
sing.
moments.
Oh my God. Guys, let me know if there's still an echo. I mean, or a delay. Is there still a delay?
No, I don't think so.
Is there still a delay? No? Okay. Well,
Go
I'll
ahead.
just
Might be
keep
a little
talking.
for a little
Hopefully
delayed, but go ahead. You go ahead. You go ahead. We'll get you.
we're we're just gonna go with it. Hi everybody. I am TK Owens and it's time for Motivational Mondays. I had to do this. So I said, let me pick a quote that would actually just sum all of this up. We all know that Cindy isn't here tonight because if some of you are here and new listeners, Cindy is actually on tour being a Disney princess. And out of all of the different cities and states that she's going to, she had an opportunity to come back home because Cindy was actually raised right here from Miami. This entire show was built on co-hosts that were here from Miami because we're representing Miami. You get it? Talk Miami. But she had the opportunity to come home this weekend to perform, and we could not have her to come home and not support. So we were in the building, but I want to go ahead. And of course, it's only right to give a Disney quote if I'm going to talk about a Disney princess. Cindy, we love you. So this is dedicated to you. You are our motivational Monday. She believed in dreams, all right, but she also believed in doing something about them. And I actually quote from Walt Disney in my book that says, a dream is just a dream until you decide to wake up. And that means it's all about action. And so this weekend, Cindy came. And I wanted to share some things with you. This is me meeting her backstage. We had a private meet and greet. Even Shonda's daughter, Gigi, she joined us. I took my daughter. We were there. We got an entire an opportunity to meet the entire cast. That is all of the Disney princes and some of the prince, and that's my daughter with the blue cap, and that's me. So it was just great meeting everybody. And if you guys never ever heard Cindy sing live, here's a little clip. And I know exactly where I'm going. Those are those for every day, and I'm almost there. Almost there. People down here think I'm crazy, but I don't care. Trials and tribulations, I've had my share. There ain't nothing gonna stop me now, 'cause I'm almost there. I remember Daddy told me. Oh
Baby, you
my
only see that
God,
leg
I
kick.
was like in tears. Did you see the leg kick? You with the dressing heels on.
Yeah.
But guys, just to see all of the little girls in the audience, they wore their princess gowns and they was singing along. And it really does give so many little girls just hopes and dreams to be like her one day. And I was just so proud of her. I was in the audience crying because she sung like maybe 6 different solos. And that was just one you saw. But she did a song called Shadowland from the movie Lion King. And can I tell you, she got a standing ovation. Like she had everybody in tears. So, Cindy, we are so proud of you. Of course, we miss you. Everybody, show Cindy some love in the comments. She will be back next week. I don't know if you guys saw that, Shonda and Ryan. She says she'll host next week, Shonda. So you'll go after her. So she is coming back. We don't know. I think the tour ends the end of this month. Cindy, you are our Cindy Spotlight. Talk Miami Spotlight today. You're our motivational moment, and that is from me, Ryan.
TK's motivational moments.
Nice.
TK's motivational moments.
Nice. Thank you so much. Thank you, TK. And big shout out to Cindy for what she's doing, man. Living her own dreams, doing what she'll do, and giving other people inspiration at the same time. Shonda, thank you for that jingle. We give you a chance to hit them vocals here as well. Real quick. Hey, you said that you are now at a new church. You are at Calvary, you said. Has that changed?
Yes, I'm still at Calvary.
You still there?
Yeah, you want to come visit?
Well, I was going to, and I didn't see you on the stage when I couldn't quite make it one of these days. You with the choir still? See you singing?
Oh yeah, I sing with the praise team. You came to church?
What hour are you working? What hour are you singing with them?
Well, when I sing, I do.
She
all
was at
services.
TK's
So
brunch.
Then what it was?
This Sunday I went, but I was a congregational member this Sunday.
What about?
But when I
about
do sing,
last Sunday? Not yesterday, a week ago.
It was my birthday brunch. It was my birthday brunch.
I knew. Like I don't see no Shonda up there at all, man. But don't be surprised. Don't be surprised.
What had happened was.
Yeah, what had happened wasn't there. I know what it was.
I am supposed to sing this Sunday, but I'm gonna be out of town. So when I'm done running around with this child of mine that plays football, I will be back in my position in ministry. When I do serve, I serve 9, 11, and 1. We serve the whole day. I'll let you know.
Don't be surprised if I run up on you. Okay, I was just checking. I want to check because
if you walk up in that fellowship, if you walk up in that congregation, I'm gonna run off the stage, do a flip, a cartwheel, hit the walls, and go back up there and finish singing.
I shouldn't have said nothing. I shouldn't even have told you because I was gonna go there and show up. I shouldn't even said nothing. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna hold you to that.
Hallelujah.
Oh,
I promise you, it's gonna be the 11 o'clock service because you ain't gonna see me over there at 9 o'clock. I'm gonna tell you. So look for me around 11.
Okay.
11. Okay, so I was gonna try and stick to schedule in a time manner, and I was really looking at getting out of here at 9 o'clock on a dot, just because that's what we do here, or we try to do here. Do that. So let's take like a quick 7-8 minutes round robin, or we can just wrap it up now and save that topic because this microphone situation sucks. And I want to just ask anybody who's listening, if you know what this is, I'm gonna put it in the comments, DM me or send it. Let me know what you think this might be. If there's internet knows what this might be. I'm trying to figure it out. So if you have anybody who's tech in your life, talk to me because I'm working through this. If it sounds familiar to you, if you have the Roadcaster, a Mac Mini, a Shure SMB70, a Shure SMB7, I want to know what the issue is, and I can let me know. What I'm gonna do today, Sean, is I'm gonna save my second topic. I know people might have been excited for that. I'm gonna save my second topic for time, and I want to go to Sean to close out the show. Hear from Shonda, her little brand new community corner that she has over there with street
Y'all
signs
see
falling
it? You
off,
see it?
tiny
You see her
lights. I
corner?
still see you over there. We're
Lord.
gonna go over to Shonda, and she's gonna bring us home with her
Man.
Sing me a
community
jingle,
corner.
TK.
Ooh, let me sing. Let me sing.
Sing, friend.
Shonda's community corner. Ooh, Shonda. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna move it. Okay.
Wait, I can't breathe. Baby, she meant that with everything in her. Thank you, TK. Okay, let's calm. This is a serious topic. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have had you sing before this. I forgot this is serious. Whew. Okay. So usually, TK, stop. I'm trying to be serious. Stop laughing. Okay. So usually, our community corner is about things going on in our community with nonprofits or businesses. But today, something hit home today, and I really want to talk about it. This morning when I woke up, I'm sure most people may have known that there was a shooting at University of Virginia. And when I saw the information early this morning, the shooter had not yet been caught. But as I was watching, the shooter was caught. So I'm going to read you all something, but I'm going to also show you the young men who were murdered. This is Mr. Devin Chandler, Lavelle Davis Jr., and Deshaun Perry. A University of Georgia student is suspected of killing 3 of the school's football players in a shooting Sunday night.
Was it Virginia? Virginia, wasn't it, Shonda?
Yes, University of Virginia.
We so tired. I think you said Georgia. Just double check.
I did. I'm sorry. The
So.
school's president said Monday the suspect, identified by authorities as Christopher Darnell Jones Jr., was in custody, authorities announced on Monday. What I gathered from the story was that the shooter, which is Christopher, was on the team back in 2018 as a walk-on, but never played in any games, from what I read. These young men were on a bus with other classmates who went to Washington to watch a play for a class. 5 people were shot. These young men died. They're all on the football team. These young men died, and there are 2 more who are also football players. One is in critical condition and one is in stable condition. But and they're still alive. I want us all to just pray for the families that are going through this. Hit home because most of y'all know my son plays football, and they just played them 2 weeks ago, and it's so heartbreaking because you send your kids to school and not thinking something like this would happen. Apparently, there were some talks of him having a gun about, I believe it said September. And when they investigated, they didn't find anything. He was involved in a hazing incident a couple of months ago. Again, witnesses didn't come forth, so nothing happened. And he was also have known to have anger issues. I don't know if the shooter came on the bus and shot the bus up, or was he already on the bus, because he was currently a University of Virginia student. He was no longer on the football team, but he was still enrolled in the school. So I'm not sure if he was on the field trip or did he somehow get on the bus. But 5 football players were shot, 3 were murdered, 2 are still in the hospital. From the football coach, he says, these precious young men were called away too soon. We are all fortunate to have them be a part of our lives. They touched us, inspired us, and worked incredibly hard as representatives of University and community. Rest in peace, young men. The athletic director, Carla Williams, says, we will never see what the world would have been, but we will never their impact on us. I miss you, Lavelle, Deshaun, and Devin. And also, I want to say that Deshaun Perry, as soon as I saw his name, it rang a bell because he's from Miami. He went to Gulliver Prep. And being in this recruiting and football world, you sometimes see the names every now and then you'll see kids that your child may either played with or been in these camps with or on the recruiting trail. Somehow these names just ring a bell. And as soon as I saw his name, I said, I believe he's from Miami. And just a matter of fact, he is. So let's keep these families in prayer. And the ones who are still fighting in the hospital, and the ones who were on the bus as well. I'm sure this was traumatizing to everyone involved. It's scary. Elijah knew about it before. When I told him, he already knew. So I'm sure they spoke about it at school with his football team as well. Like I said, we just played them 2 weeks ago. There's a picture of, I believe, Lavelle, or one of them, whoever were number one, another teammate posted today as they were on the field together. So I'm sure there are a lot of pictures of them going around from University of Miami players, because like I said, we just played them. So it's such a scary situation. I pray that justice will be served. Don't know what happened, don't know why it happened, but let's just keep these families in prayer. That was my corner for tonight.
Thank you for on this. It's always difficult to speak on those things and bring those to light, but obviously that you did that, and obviously we things like that happen, and it, like you said, make us reflect on our own mortality, our own lives, our own children, and so we hear these things on the news, like, oh man, another one, that sucks,
Yeah,
and it's but then sometimes they strike that chord more personal than you would think, and so obviously
yeah.
that was for you, and so thank you for that, and out of respect, just to share what's going on there. So thank you that for TK for your moment tonight. Once again, apologize for the technical difficulties. We're gonna be here regardless. Hurricane, tornado, power outage. We're gonna try and make it happen. And so there's maybe some
That's
kind of
right.
solar flare out there. I don't know what's going on with the internet, and we're gonna look into. I want to just make sure and let y'all know how you can reach us. Let us know. Let us know what you thought about the show. Give us some feedback. You can always follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Or you can subscribe to the YouTube channel for the Talk Miami podcast. And this isn't just a talk show on YouTube; it's also a podcast. You can listen to us on anywhere you get your podcast. You can listen to us Spotify, iHeartRadio, app podcast. And so let us know what you felt, what you thought. I mean, you do a really great job. You guys let us know in the comments of what's going on. Don't forget about us. Share things from this. And look forward to seeing y'all next week. Next week, Cindy will be back. She will be
Cindy will be
hosting.
back.
She
Woo!
can have her own. So we will look for all of y'all next week. Any last words, ladies, before we get out of here?
No, like
Be
Ryan
kind.
said. Yeah, true. Like Ryan said, no matter what, even when we're having difficulties, the show must go on, and we're gonna always be here. And we need you guys to be there with us too.
We appreciate y'all. Good night. All right, ladies.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good night.
Good night.
All right, y'all. Good night.
I want to know who this Biz is.
Honey, they've been on us all night. We
Biz
don't want
getting on my nerves
none.
all night. We made it.